Representative DANOU represents, as you heard, the 91st Assembly District. Senator Kreitlow represents the 23rd Senate District. They're both from this western Wisconsin area, which is one of the reasons why we're holding a hearing in western Wisconsin. The other reason, of course, is that there's been an incredible interest among our constituents, those of us that represent western Wisconsin. So thank you, gentlemen, for coming forward, and please proceed.
All right. Thank you, Senator Vinehout, and I'm testifying along with Representative DANOU here, of course, on behalf of Senate Bill 434, legislation that I've co-authored that would make it more convenient for farmers and consumers to engage in the sale and purchase of raw milk without government harassment. I'd like to thank you, Senator Vinehout, for agreeing to hold today's hearing in Eau Claire. As you and most of our audience members know, for decades, Eau Claire wasn't just the metaphorical center of the dairy world, it was quite literally the pricing center of the dairy world, the very heart of a national formula that over time put Wisconsin at an increasing disadvantage over other parts of the country. For years, we asked the federal government to consider new ways to calculate dairy prices, new ways to protect farmers and farm families whose long hours and hard labor kept the world well nourished. And instead, Wisconsin farmers were ignored, outvoted, and left unprotected, as international rules allowed more foreign dairy products in, even as other markets effectively kept U.S. products out. Now, it's our own state government that has farm families wondering if anyone is looking out for them, when all they're looking for is another option in the marketplace, a small and voluntary option to sell fresh milk right off the farm. The authors and most supporters of this bill are not here to debate the merits of pasteurization or of having quality dairy products that come from Wisconsin. Our state's cultural ethic of quality, cleanliness, and pride in what we produce will remain unchallenged. Our protections for consumers and farmers alike are what make this state the true leader of America's dairy industry. We'll be leaders no matter how much of a lesser product is produced elsewhere. Thanks to our quality standards and our marketplace protections, the milk and dairy products on store shelves around the state and around the nation will forever be pasteurized and healthy and better than anyone else's. This bill is not aimed at the general marketplace. It is aimed at the most simple and basic of farm transactions, dating back to a time when the farmer was the producer, the processor, and the purveyor. If a consumer wants to buy a product directly from a farmer and is fully informed about what they are buying from the farmer, then the farmer should be allowed to sell his or her product to that single consumer without fear that state government will treat him like a common criminal. We believe that any farmer engaged in placing his product in the general marketplace wants to abide by strong protections to ensure quality and health. And we believe every farmer wants anyone who visits his or her farm to see an operation that adheres to high standards. It's why we support the ability of a consumer to visit a grade A licensed dairy farm, and if that consumer chooses, can have the option to purchase milk directly from the farmer without government interference. This is about choice and the freedom of private transactions. Now, some will say Wisconsin's dairy image could suffer at an instance of someone complaining that their system couldn't handle it when their first exposure to fresh milk involved drinking a quart of it all at once. Frankly, it's not all that unexpected that someone gets ill when food isn't handled or consumed properly. As today's consumer pendulum continues to swing away from processed foods toward fresh and healthy alternatives, there will be constant reminders of the need for proper handling and moderate consumption. Generations of farm kids have shown us that fresh milk can be consumed without generating headlines. So again, this is not about bulk purchasing or entire store shelves marketing unpasteurized milk. This is about consumer choice, personal responsibility, and freedom for farmers who choose to sell their product directly. It's their license and their livelihood on the line. So let's allow the few farmers who would be affected by this bill to make these sales, as is the case in many other farms all around the country.